are now listening to the Fierce Kingz podcast.
Yes. Episode 17. Shit. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul. I'm with the one and only Stu Fierce, and you are now listening to the Fierce Kingz podcast. Stu, what it do? Baby.
So I want to ask you, I want just to kick this off with the topic of coffee. I'm assuming you're a coffee drinker, right?
I have a coffee problem.
Okay, let's get to that. I too have a coffee problem, but I want to preface this all by the fact that my sister just got like an espresso. What do you know? One of those Nespresso machines. I guess they have these like pods and stuff.
Got it.
And I guess it wasn't the one she wanted or something like that. And so she messaged me and she's like, "Do you want this?" And I was like, "Well, is it broken?" Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Oh, no, that's fine. It's just like newly unboxed and stuff like that. It just wasn't the one I wanted, and I didn't want to return it and blah, blah, blah." So I'm like, "Okay, yeah, for sure. Like, why not, right?"
Hit me up, yeah.
And so I get it. And then I'm pretty pumped because like also like because I drink so much coffee, more often than not, when I'm in the morning, I fire up a drip, like a nice full on. We're talking a pot. And then I dummy that. And then usually at some point during the afternoon, I want maybe one or two more. I try to cut it off around 4 o'clock if I can, so it's not too late, caffeine, this, that, and the other. But making a whole pot at 4 o'clock sucks. So I'm like, this is perfect because you just do the one pod.
One capsule.
One capsule and you're good to go. So I unbox it, put it up, plug it in, and then look on the top, and I'm like, it's a DeLonghi. And now I know DeLonghi's a famous brand. I've seen all sorts of, we worked in restaurants and stuff. I've seen that brand before. But so then I message, I'm going like, you fleeced me, right? Like this isn't an espresso. This is a DeLonghi. And then she said, "Oh, well, DeLonghi's the parent company and whatever." She's trying to sell me on the.
She offloaded the machine on you.
Yeah, the curbside. What is a curb alert? Remember that when they would in Kijiji or whatever, when they would be like curb alert means we're just throwing out garbage and you can come pick it up. And so I get it. And then for whatever reason, again, I'm not so educated on this sort of thing, but I guess different like pods have different like legs. So like I kept putting in these fucking pods and they were giving me these like micro shots. And so she messaged me and she says, how's the machine going? I said, "It's terrible.
Shit.
I can't even get a full coffee out of 18 pods or whatever." And then she's, "Oh, you gotta, there are different lengths and holding the button here and this and that and the other." And I was just like, this was more of a headache than it was worth.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess my point being, maybe it's a question to you, is just like, do you use these things? You know what they are? Is it the user who's no good, or is it the machine that's no good, or is it worth it for me to just go back to the pot and call it a day?
I think if you love the pot and the pot, and you know what? I remember you always being a pot guy. I'm not a pot guy, but that's okay. But you're a pot guy. You like brewing a pot. The whole house smells nice, like coffee, right? All day. There's something about it. My wife loves that too. She's like, "Oh, let's put a pot on.
Yep.
Yeah, get your day started." But I don't fuck with any of that shit, man. No pots. We have an espresso machine. It's a DeLonghi as well. I do not use that thing at all, man.
You don't even touch it.
I don't. Too many grains, too much tamping. There's water pressures and all this stupid shit. I just like a nice fucking coffee crystals. Put a spoon into your glass. You boil some water. It's over.
So you're an instant guy.
I'm instant as fuck, man. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 instants in 2 hours.
Right. Well, because you know what the thing about instants is, or are, is it's kind of like when you eat cereal. I don't know if you did this back in the day, but it's like where when you kind of get to the bottom of the cereal, you just kind of top yourself off, right? Like because like when it's starting to get soggy, you add some more crispers on top, right?
Sure.
And it's the same thing with this. You could be sort of getting to the bottom of the cup, and then you could either just like, you're like, you know what, I want a little bit more coffee, top yourself up, or I just want a little bit more water to kind of elongate this a little bit. Yeah. You know, you can kind of, there's a sort of, you're more forgiving with the ratio. Because with a pot, I've got it down to a science because I've been doing it for so long. Is that, you know, on the side of the pot, it says, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like they've got the bigger numbers or whatever for the every 4 cups or 5 cups or something. It's a scoop a cup. And that's the science. It's a scoop a cup, and that's perfect brew every time. But sometimes with instant, because also I know that they have the instant that's like Folgers or whatever, and they also got like one that's like espresso, like Colombia or whatever. And so you can kind of fiddle with it and be like, I got a dark roast, I got a medium roast, I got all sorts of different stuff, and I'm mixing and matching.
Bro, let me just tell you, I got this stuff here, and I'm looking at it right now. It's a Nescafe espresso.
Yes, that's what my mother-in-law loves.
It's a splash.
That's her.
It's my go-to. But you have to. There's a tolerance to this thing, just like all substances, I suppose.
Is it a spicy meatball right off the hip hop, or what?
Let's just say there's been some times where I, dabbled a little bit too hard, and I'm hopping on a call for work. They're like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm fucking freaking out. I'm legit.
Oh, you're buzzing.
I'm fucking Buzz Lightyear, man. I'm fucking Gonzo Leo,
Yeah, you're garbanzo beans.
Yeah, and that's when you're like, I took too much, man. I took too much. It's right off the hop at the beginning of the day too. So you got to be experienced when you jump into the crystals, to the instants, because they'll get you.
Well, because it's one of those things where it's like, when you see one of those containers, right? They're really like just like the size of a jar of like peanut butter or something.
Yeah.
Versus like when I get a drip, like
a drip
bucket, it's like a bucket. Like it's like a big thing, right? So, but so they're almost comparable. So in fact, it's funny you mentioned that the other day I had my Maxwell house. That was because I was thinking in my head, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to put on a whole pot in the afternoon. I'm just going to get the instant started popping. And then I ran out of my drip drop, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to put in some Maxwell House into the filter and use it as a drip. And boy, I was high.
You are now listening to the Fierce Kingz podcast.
So there was a pretty big accident that took place in Indonesia in a submarine in the last couple of days. I don't know if you've read about this, but I think it was about 55 deaths. And they were all in the Navy, and I guess the Indonesian Navy. And, it's a tragic story. They lost their oxygen supply in the submarine. And then I think there was some other malfunction or something like that. And it got me thinking, like, first of all, wow, you really have the courage to, partake in the Navy, let alone in a submarine, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, what a precarious vehicle to be in. And it just got me thinking, like, because, in the Navy, you can also be part of like a big cruiser ship, right? Or, aircraft carrier, and just like everything, you can jump ship. You can go into a raft. You can, I don't know, swim, for example.
Yeah.
In a plane, you can parachute out. You can jump out, you parachute out. In a submarine, you can't just open the hatch and swim out. Like that's it. It's like,
no, you're
stuck.
You're toast.
Crazy scary, isn't it insane? So like, have we made advancements in submarines? Like, have they, like, what is the exit strategy in a submarine? Do you know?
I don't. I mean, I guess I wish I did know. But like for me, that is the lowest on the totem pole for me to like hop on board with. Like I will get on like, obviously planes, trains, automobiles, boats, I mean, maybe depending on if you're in a war and you're on one of those destroyers, okay, that's a bit of a different situation. Even just getting launched up in a rocket, I would probably take my chances on. Submarine? No way. No way. Like you'd have to have a gun to my head, a knife to my bollocks, and saying that you're going to kill my entire family for me to get on one of those things. Because that is terrifying. Like, think about the fact that, like, and I don't know if it's, like, fact, but, like, I think we know more about the universe than we do about underwater. And underwater is literally right beneath us, and we have no fucking clue. Yet we can go eons with lunar modules or whatever, and we can figure out if this fucking planet had sand on it or something.
Yeah, and if you think about it, so like what the report said was they're like, well, you know, what happened is like they lost, you know, power and blah, blah, blah. And what happens is like the submarine, you know, isn't meant to survive past 500 meters below. Right? So you're like...
So who was driving this thing? Was that human error then?
No, I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is like, you're right. So what that means is like after 500 meters, like we don't really know what the fuck is going down in the ocean. Right?
And we don't have like an engineering spec on how to like survive for lower than that.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably cold, you know, and like, look, I've been on a submarine. I went to Barbados when I was like 13 or 14 because my dad was doing like a project there, and it was like a tourist submarine. You know what I mean? You hop on, there's like glass windows. They don't go very deep. It's probably like, I don't know, tops.
A couple meters.
50 meters, 50. Right. Let's call it 50.
Well,
there's like a staged fucking shipwreck and a couple of beluga whales, and it's like, oh, it's cute. But let me tell you, man, there's these sounds that are taking place like in the metal walls, and it's just very dicey. There's water dripping everywhere, man. And at the end of the day, you're thinking to yourself,
what the fuck am I doing here?
I'm in an underwater basement. Right? Imagine the rent on something like that. It's probably $200-$300.
Well, if it was in Toronto, it'd be like $3,000 a month.
Yeah. No sunlight.
Because I think actually I've been in basements that basically look like submarines. Yeah. But it's like, because even, you know, have you seen that shit where they like, where I guess I don't know if it's they've actually got them or if it's some sort of crazy camera or if it's some sort of like CGI reenactment or something, but it's like they've figured out certain like ways that like fish and the mammals like look like in complete blackness in the sea or whatever. And they got like lights on their heads.
Like, I can't see anything. So my body's producing this fucking, I grew an eyeball that's on this like hook. Yeah. So that I just see where I'm going, where I'm swimming.
Yeah, and it's got like they got light bulbs on themselves and extra God knows what, and you're saying to yourself, what the fuck is going on down there? Like, cause imagine if you were just like, you're going to Barbados or some other like cool place or whatever, and then they're like, hey, we're gonna take this submarine down to see like this like clearly staged shipwreck and a couple stingrays or whatever, and then you're like, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden you see like swirling of water, and then you go through a portal and you're like there, and then you're in like Atlantis, and like fucking Jason Momoa pops out and he's fighting the other Aquaman dude or whatever, and you're like, where the fuck did I just end up?
What if? Have you seen Pacific Rim?
I watched it was actually on the other day. I watched a bit of it and then I was too tired and I went to bed.
Anyways, here's the synopsis. It's basically fucking some submarine unlocked the portal to another dimension deep in the ocean. They're like, oh, let's explore over here. They went inside and they're like, oops. Giant aliens coming now and attacking our world, right? So let's build these huge fucking robots and go fight them, kind of like Power Rangers, you know what I mean? What if like all these, you know, mysteries of the world are just coming from deep down in the ocean? Forget space. Space is a laugh. We got satellites out there. The aliens are like, we're chilling. But meanwhile, you know, you got fucking Aquaman. Godzilla comes from the ocean. Always comes from the ocean, Godzilla.
Oh, is that where he comes from?
He comes out of the water, dude.
Oh, okay.
He sleeps in the water. He's deep down. He likes it's cool. You know what I mean? And maybe it's him taking out the submarine. He's like, bruh, I was sleeping. You're too close, man.
so basically, is the whole premise of that film, or I guess I shouldn't call it a film, it's probably more of a movie, but is so this submarine fucked up.
Someone fucked up for sure.
Like, so somehow they like pressed the button.
They went too deep.
Right. So they went past the 500 meters. And that's exactly what they said. That's why we don't go there.
The submarine has a sign on it, warning, don't go past 500 meters. And they're like, I'm pushing this baby to the limits. They went past 500. Godzilla. And so, now we have all these amazing movies.
Because James Cameron tried to pull a stunt like that on his little pod or whatever the hell he was on when he was going down for Titanic. And then he got down like a couple hundred feet and they're like, dog, pull it back up. We don't know what the hell's going on down here.
Yeah. There's some unknown forces down here, buddy. Yeah, fuck the ocean. It's too scary, man. It's too dark. It's too cold. Like, we don't want to go. We don't want to check it out. It's not just like, oh, isn't it interesting? I don't know if it is that interesting.
I don't find it interesting at all. I find it scary. I find it legitimately scary. Like, when I think about the wondrous of the galaxy, and you're saying, oh, you're in the stars and the, you know, planets and life forms and all sorts of stuff. And I mean, not to say that doesn't exist down there either, but there's something just magical about this kind of wondrous place. But then when you're thinking about going down there, you're like, I don't know, there's probably some fucking rocks and Godzilla and evil fish. And you know what? And the pressure of the water alone is probably what gets everybody.
It's just fucking too much pressure.
Yeah.
I have enough pressure in my life already. I'm not going to go past 500 meters and get more pressure.
Warning, use caution, pressurized.
I have an addiction.
Okay.
I think at all times I have close to 5 to 8 different types of flavored soda waters ready to go.
You have a soda water addiction.
Dude, I'm not even joking. It's like minimum 5, sometimes pushing 8 a day. Cans.
So not like the soda streams.
No, they're trying to get me on the soda stream, but there's something about the can that I just love that crack. That crack-a-lack.
Okay. So what we need to do first and foremost is kind of dial back, right?
Sure.
Because we just had a very significant discussion about coffee. So we're talking, you know, you're saying 5 to 8 instance before even, 10 a.m. Plus you're going on 8 soda waters.
Yeah.
Like, are you pissing all day, every day, or what?
Yeah. This is great. I'm getting hydrated like crazy.
Or dehydrated.
I'm flushing it out. No, I'm flushing it out.
I think that's dehydrated,
No, because it's all water. There's no salt in there or nothing.
There's got to be salt in there.
There's no salt. The ones I
Isn't
get
that
have
how
no
it's
salt.
carbonated?
No.
Well, I'll have to look that up.
I've done my research.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, great. But I don't know, but
there are some moments of heartburn and potentially, gassiness, etc. But overall, it's a great time, and I love it.
Now, do you think that it could potentially be related to the fact that you're trying to drink less, you're trying to mediate that sort of stuff a little bit? It also kind of gives you something to do. Oh, I go for a crack. I maybe go for, I don't know, I'll walk in the backyard or something like that, where you're like, this is sort of an activity.
Well, the truth is I've always been a drink guy. So forget about alcohol, you know what I mean? But I've always been like, oh, let's go get a bottle of that, or let's go, get this, or I can't wait for after the soccer game, I'm going to have a Powerade, or I can't, or it is just like, people go, let's go for a beer. Let's do this. It's something to do, something to get, something to enjoy. And it's just water. But man, we're talking now at the point of like it's, what is it? It's recycling this week, right?
So, and we're talking, you got bags. Like bags.
Like, I don't even know where to put these bags. I have 3 bags ready for Wednesday right now that are full of cans. And the man that's walking up and down the street and hustling to get those, those alcoholic beverages in, those cans in so that he can, get his deposits in and make a couple bucks. He's looking at these. He's like, holy smokes, I just hit the jackpot, goes through. Pissed.
Can they take those back?
I don't think so. No, but what I'm saying, he's pissed. He's like, what? These are beer cans?
Yeah, you conned him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I didn't con him on purpose, so if I do ever see him, I'm going to listen. It's not my fault, but it's a problem, dude. And so there was a soda, I think it was a Soda Stream commercial. And they're like, hey, honey. And she's like and she's telling her husband, like, oh, yeah, just back it up a little bit. He's got a forklift with all these boxes of cans. And that's me, man. Sometimes I go to No Frills. I'm walking home with like 8. It's just a week's worth, dude. 8 boxes of cans.
Yeah, well, why don't you go to Costco then? Because you could just get loaded up of there. You go and say,
they don't have this type of selection, man. I got raspberry lime. I got pomegranate lemon. I'm throwing peach, cherries, blackberries. I got a little, what else do I got? Ooh. Dude, if I listen to Michael Bublé, I get triggered.
Oh, so you drink those bubbly things.
Dude, if someone just plays this love in the air. Cherry. Pineapple. I'm in.
Well, because I think that has become a lot like it's all the rage now. And so
it's a huge market.
So not only just that, and I know my brother's heavily addicted to the Soda Stream. Apparently, he said it changed his life. He's got to go get a bunch of those canisters like every month or something.
He's doing whippets.
He's doing whippets with those canisters. But because it became all the rage, that started to. I noticed that happened a lot at my office. So they've got several different types. One is the bubbly. There's a La Croix. And I honestly, you know me, I am a soda guy. Like I love Diet Cola, diet pretty much everything just because that's how I grew up.
You like the diet decaffeinated.
I like the diet. Yes, exactly.
President's Choice.
Yes,
the brown can.
Yeah, the gold can. Yeah. The goldy brown thing. Yeah. But I tried one of those bubblies, and I threw it out. I thought it was so fucking disgusting.
Really?
And I don't know what it was. I don't like carbonated water. I need still.
You know where this came from? Check this out. I know exactly where this came from. When we were young, in those sections, the pop section of No Frills, of Loblaws, of Metro, they had these other things that were like fruit flavors. And they were clear waters, but they were sweet.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They were full of sugar, sugar. So if you had a can of that, it was like...
It was a white label, and it had fruit on it. And it was sort of carbonated, but also just super sweet.
Yeah, and it was like you can have a strawberry soda, right?
Yes,
and it tasted fucking good, but it was bad for you too, just like pop, right? And my mom sometimes, I remember, would be like, maybe we'll get a few. This can't be as bad as pop, which is probably worse than pop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's that. I think all these soda waters and these flavors are bringing me back to those days.
It's a nostalgic thing.
It's a nostalgic thing. And now I'm hooked. Yeah. I'm fucking hooked. And I like it. They're different colors. You come home, you stack in the fridge. You're like, whoo, we're stocked, baby. We're stocked.
Now, do you think that this is becoming an issue within your like marriage or with your friendship or at work? Or what kind of like how bad are we talking here? You know,
I guess the issue is just the sheer amount of consumption. Like I'm just
the volume.
I'm just constantly going to the grocery store and getting more boxes. And like I get it. I get the Soda Stream thing, and I think it's a natural progression. But then I'm gonna turn like your brother, and I'm on whippets.
You sneak out and like it's like.
Babe, where are you going?
9:45 at night, and you're like, you turn off your phone or something like that, and you sneak out, and she's like, oh my God, this guy's cheating on me. And then she can hear in the backyard. And she's like, what are you doing? And you're just like,
fuck.
I had to get another Soda Stream.
She's like, are you drinking again? I'm like, yeah, but it's a peach.
It's a peach cobbler.
It's a peach cobbler. It's a fucking, it's a cherry splash, you know? And then she was like, yeah, no, and that actually has happened. She's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm just going to the grocery store. She's like, why? I'm like, gotta go get more soda water, man.
Do they work with alcohol as well? Have you ever tried to venture into that realm where you maybe put a little gin or vodka in them, some ice cubes, and then you say, wow? Or would that maybe ruin the experience for you once you associate it with alcohol?
I've given it a shot. It's not the same. Like if you're looking for a mixed drink, it is pretty much like you're drinking like vodka or gin with water. Because the flavor's so light, right?
Kind of like, you remember those Absolute bottles that were like blueberry vodka, and you're kind of like, there's a hint of that in there, but realistically there's nothing there.
It's kind of like that. Yeah. So like, no, I don't like, first of all, I don't really drink like mixed drinks or anything like that. But no, man, you just crack a nice soda. Nah, I'm hooked, man. It's a thing. The marketer behind this got me. They got to me. They figured me out, and they're making a fortune off me, straight up.
Do you think you need to see...
I need help. I need help for sure.
Yeah. So you might need to see SA, Soda Anonymous or whatever, and just like maybe see if other people are on 8 cans a day and like see how it's affected their lives and their relationships with both the family and their partners and their children.
SA helped me go from 8 cans a day to only 1 in 3 weeks.
Hi, my name's Paul, and I'm a sodaholic. Hi, Paul.
Help me.
Would you rather? Would you rather?
All right. Would you rather, Stewie? Check this out. If you had to have a personal bodyguard, would you rather have Liam Neeson or Keanu Reeves?
Oof. Honestly, Keanu can do no wrong in my eyes. Boy, John Wick, fucking Neo.
Yeah, he is Neo.
Fucking Bill and Ted's up in this motherfucker.
Speed, remember?
Speed.
He just saved that bus.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
and the
but-
train.
Fuck.
They're in the train
he's
at the
very
end.
experienced with multiple types of
Johnny
travel.
Mnemonic. He's in another one, I think, with Kurt Russell or one
I know,
of those
but
guys.
like Bill and Ted. Like, I mean, he's not. He can't fuck anybody up. Remember,
he would get fucked up.
he would get fucked up, but that's not particularly what you want as a bodyguard. Maybe.
I don't
Like,
know.
you
I
don't be
want
like, "Where's your
both.
bodyguard?" And he's just in the corner, just like, "Oh, dude, I meant to be there for you, bruh. I was there in spirit, bruh." You know? But look at Liam Neeson. Check this out. Taken. He's got a set of skills. Those Armenians rotted. Okay, or Albanians. Okay, The Commuter.
That was a big movie too.
I'm just trying to get home. You know,
But can't you just let this guy get home?
he's just trying to get home to his daughter. Okay, Taken. Where's my daughter? Right. And then I just saw this other-
Basically, don't fuck with his daughter. Man.
dude, if he has a daughter and you fuck with her, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. I just saw this other one called The Honest Thief. I'm just an honest thief. He's just like
Do you think that they pitch him movies where the title he has to
the
say
movie.
in
yeah.
So that's the like trailer, and they're like, honest thief. I am an honest thief.
Yeah.
And
They're
it's just like,
Liam, we got the role for you, pal. Hear me out. The movie's called Honest Thief. Am I the honest thief? You are the honest thief. So, where do I sign?
yeah. Give me the contract. 10
Give me the
mil.
contract.
Let's go.
Cold Pursuit. Guess what?
I'm cold and I'm on a pursuit.
Some people wronged him. He's in the Arctic pursuing these mans.
Oh, that's the one with the wolf or whatever.
No, that one was called The Wolf.
Okay, well, there you go.
And he was the wolf, and there was an actual wolf there, too.
And he had to say in it, the wolf.
I am the wolf.
And you took my wolf daughter.
And so this wolf took my daughter. I'm just trying to find this wolf so I can have my daughter back. Dude, it's so funny in Taken. I don't know if you've seen Taken. I'm sure you have.
I have. There's
this one scene where it's like very early in the movie, and like it's like the guys are hanging out, and they're all kind of retired Secret Service, right, or whatever it is, and they're all like making fun of each other, like blah 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 blah. He's just like, can't we just talk about like basketball or whatever? You know what I mean?
Well, you know what the thing is too is. Because I think he's an Irishman.
Oh yeah, he's having a hard time with that.
So
American
he has a bad time with it, and so that's the thing. I can't buy it. Like it's always just not that. It's not there, and you're kind of saying, "Listen, man, just be Irish, I guess."
But if there's a scene where he's picking up a phone, like if someone calls him. Like some people think that they're fucking with him. They're like, I'm going to call this motherfucker and tell him what's up. And he picks up. He's just like, this is the last day of your life. And they're like, oh, shit. And vice versa. He's picking up the phone. Do. I'm coming for you. And you will all die.
Because I think...
Keanu doesn't have that. Keanu's different.
He's not a phone guy.
He's not a phone guy. He's a face
bit...
to face. He's face to face.
Yeah.
He likes a meeting. I need to meet with you. I need to speak to you.
And you know what? That actually kind of can potentially differentiate. Because I'll be candid myself. I'm not a phone guy. I've had bad experiences on the phone myself, but it's one of those things where it's like. When you're getting normally when you see a call coming in, you're like, I'm gonna avoid. But when a call comes in and you got Neeson as your bodyguard, he's saying, I'll answer. And I've got just the thing to say.
Yeah.
And so when he answers and the guy's like, you know, hey asshole, I'm gonna, you know, rape your mother or something, and he's like, do you know who you're talking to, man?
You fucked up.
You fucked up big time. I'll see you in 15. And he gets into like a Dodge Charger and he skirts on over there. And
Liam, where are you going? Just doing my job.
Someone took something from me.
Someone threatened my girlfriend.
Do you think that regardless of who they are, in real life, I mean, like, do you think that like Liam Neeson's wife, or I mean, partner, or who knows what? It. Did you think that she thinks like when he gets home from work, he's just putting a fucking long day on Taken 17, and she's just like, this guy's gonna protect me.
Oh, for sure.
And so he's just like, because I think he's a big dude too. Like I think he's tall.
He's tall for sure. And you know what's crazy about him is I think he's a little bit older too. Like if I check, he's probably early 50s,
60s.
What? I'm gonna do a quick Google.
Oh yeah, that's why. Because Keanu was 55, man.
But Keanu's just
age. He's timeless, bro.
Fuck, man.
But I'm telling you, he gets better looking as he gets older.
And his hair, man, he's for sure on that head and shoulders.
He's got a salad that is just not contaminated whatsoever.
Yeah, that lettuce did not come from Mexico.
Yeah. He's probably 70, Liam Neeson. Take a look.
68 years old. Oh
I told you, dude.
Oh my God, and he's fucking ripping it. If I learn,
but I don't know if you've seen, because if you've seen Commuter.
Yes.
Watch some of those fight scenes. You can tell he's getting tired and they have to cut real quick because he's not there. Where you're seeing Keanu and he's stabbing people in the eyes with pencils and all sorts of wild shit. I'd have to go with him based on just resiliency.
Okay. So let's make a decision here. So let's check it out. Okay. So for Keanu Reeves, there's probably two real options. Okay. John Wick, obviously, he's just a fucking rude boy, right? He'll just fuck shit up. But there's also Neo. And I have a feeling that if we all learn that somehow, you know, with all the technology that's taking place, that we in fact are in a simulation, you definitely want Neo. He's like, been living in the Matrix my whole life. Like, watch this. Don't worry about it. I got you, right? But on the Liam Neeson side, you want him from Taken, right? And probably only Taken, right? Because essentially he's just Liam Neeson.
Yeah, he's just kind of an old guy. I mean, I guess one of the real questions would be, who would each other want as their bodyguard?
Like themselves or the other one?
Yeah. So I bet Liam Neeson would be like, I want Keanu as my bodyguard. And maybe vice versa.
I think that Liam Neeson would like to talk to another Liam Neeson.
Well, but I mean, I guess you know what? Actually, the truest, I guess, deciding factor of all of this, and because maybe you can make the argument, because it's hypothetical, that you could say in their prime, right? Like you say, who do you want in your prime? Who do you think would win in a scrap? I think Keanu would probably knock Liam out.
There's no two ways about it. But just remember what Liam's skills are. Explosives. Blackmail.
West Coast shit.
Explosive West Coast shit. Blackmail. A lot of trickery. While John Wick's just kind of like,
give me a knife
pow,
and I'm
pow,
gonna go.
pow, pow, pow.
Yeah,
You're done.
Yeah.
Very creative with his violence, as I think they say. I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I think we got to hire both of them.
Yeah, if I had the money, I'd just hire both.
Yeah, like, I don't know what Britney Spears is doing with, she's got like that famous like Samoan big bouncer that follows him around. Just get Keanu and Liam Neeson to be around. And first of all, like, they'll take a little bit of the heat off of you in terms of celebrity. And then also, like, they'll fuck everyone up.
Or what I'd also do is potentially do a test. Like, I'd say, okay, listen, I'm doing a dry run here with you boys. I just want to see what's going on. And then I get you to call and take something from one of them, whether it's a daughter or a dog, and let's see who sorts it all out.
You're a fucking genius. You're a fucking genius. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to You Rotted. You Rotted is a segment where you guys send us your stories of times where you rotted. And to do so, you can hit us up at fiercekingz@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and we know, and you know, that we're on that YouTube. And you can catch me on the YouTube. Stu, you wanna? I have a feeling that you got a nice little story for us. I don't know who submitted it, but it should be a doozy.
Yeah, you know what it actually was? I mean, I think we were kind of discussing it a little while ago, and we were trying out some new things, and we were doing the Rate Me, and I think that's just a phenomenal, phenomenal one, and it definitely kind of interacts a little bit with the top 5, but makes it a little bit more streamlined. But we had said, you know what, we got to kind of bring it back, because you know what, You Rotted is always a good You Rotted, and this is one that stuck out to me that I've wanted to discuss for a while, and it's one of our buddies. I mean, you might have been there when it happened, but I mean, there was like so much going on. It was when we were living back in Montreal. I'm not sure if it was when you and I were living together, but one of our buddies, he always has unfortunate, how would you say, interactions with the police. And so this was at a time, back in the day when we were all, up to, some criminal behavior, so for lack of a better term.
Okay.
And so I call it the Bleu Manteau story. You know what I mean? Because basically Bleu Manteau in French means blue jacket, right? And so we were at somebody's place, and we were turning up, and then we were all going to Bar Tokyo, which was just off
Saint Laurent.
Saint Laurent and Des Pins, I think, or Prince Arthur, or something like that.
The street that you lived on.
Des Pins, Pine. And so we're all just turning up, leaving the house, and some dudes were grabbing some markers and doing some graffitis on stuff. And this particular individual, who I won't mention his name, but he's obviously, we hold him near and dear to our hearts.
Yep.
He did a tag or whatever on mailbox or on a wall or something, God knows what. And then because off Pine you go right basically into Saint Laurent, and then Tokyo was like
right there.
three doors down, exactly. And and as we were going up,
it's a huge staircase. I remember.
It's a huge, because I think it's
You're
only
going
on
up
like
3 floors in that staircase.
Exactly. It was like 3 floors all the way up to the top. And when we get there, there was always usually like maybe $5 or $10 cover. And like then we pay the cover and we get in, and we just hear in the background like Bleu Manteau, Bleu Manteau, and then we're like all going like, what the hell's going on? And we look back, and it's the cops, and the cops are running up the stairs. And they're like, Bleu Manteau, fucking blue jacket over there, did some graffiti or something like that, right? And then they nab him, and I think we all tried to like go to the washroom or something like that to dip on out or pretend like we weren't there. And so then they drag him down, and then I can't remember wholeheartedly if I think he got a ticket, because I think that's normally how they do it in the plateau over there. But like in front of this whole entire like
club crowd.
Yeah. And I mean, it was not club in the way that you think King Street clubs, but that sort of environment was one of the things. And he gets dragged on down, and I guess he gets busted, he gets a ticket and everything. And then it was just always became this sort of Bleu Manteau story. But the kicker of it all, because not only there's like you rotted on the fact that it's embarrassing, you get pulled over and kind of accosted, as you will. But that I think this was, because and he's a very talented guy, but he was never too big into graffiti all that much in the way that like some other people that we know are. But it was like clockwork. I think he's been busted 3 or 4 times for graffiti,
and which he doesn't take seriously anyway.
So it was like almost every time he grabs a marker, something bad happens. And so I remember after that he was just like, I am never touching any of this shit again.
Don't even give me a pen.
Don't even give me a pen. Don't give me a fucking skate stone, because sometimes they do stuff on windows or whatever. And it was one of those things where it's just like, this guy rotted to the extent that was that particular situation, but it was an epiphany of him moving forward, of being like, this doesn't agree with me. It's almost like eating like bad food. You have certain type of food, and that you're gonna be dumping. You're just like, I cannot do this again, because I just rot every fucking. I rot every fucking time.
Also, I wouldn't be surprised if that jacket got exiled. Like, he can't have a Bleu Manteau anymore.
Yeah, you sort of become famous.
Because I wonder if the cops would have actually found him if he had a noir manteau, a black manteau.
Yeah,
a black
rouge
jacket.
manteau.
Rouge manteau. Something like that. So he, something about that blue really spoke to the cops, right? Like,
well, it's like anytime that you have something flashy, it stands out. And so more often than not, when you're committing crimes,
you don't want that flash.
You're going with a balaclava, fucking ski mask, all black all black
chucks, Dickies, black Dickies.
Yeah, and then because if they're like Bleu Manteau, and you're like
noir pantalon. Noir soulier. C'est quoi ça là-bas?
Mon gars.
Je connais là.
But it's true, right? It's like when you have that sort of stuff that sticks out, and then especially, I mean, you get a little bit of fucking paint on your hands or something like that. They're going,
your bait. Yeah.
They're
Show
like,
us your
bro.
hands. You're like, I was doing some arts and crafts.
Yeah, and I've had to do that myself in the past because I've been known to do.
Sir, why is there gold and silver all over your hands? I don't know.
Merci, calice manger.
Imagine that was an excuse. Like someone asked you, c'est quoi ça? Like, what's this on your hands?
Yeah.
You're like, ben, je sais pas, mais. And they're like, true.
What? C'est vrai? C'est vrai, mon G?
Okay, no, he's good. It's the wrong Bleu Manteau.
Yeah. C'est un autre.
Yeah, it's the wrong Bleu Manteau.
No, but it's true. But I think that's what happens, unfortunately, when you get into those situations where it becomes like incriminating. It's like you're trying to stay off the path, right? It's like anybody that knows, like if you've seen those. Like if you've seen Drive, right, where Ryan Gosling is that like driver in that movie, and then all sorts of other ones as well. You're always going. You get the like forest green Toyota Camry when you're going on a mission. You know what I mean? You don't wear Bathe an Ape and expect to get away with it. You know what I mean?
100%. You don't have a Louis tracksuit like you and I have. And go
a cape.
Out and a cape and a fucking cape and a top hat, a Gucci, Versace, and then go out fucking doing a piece. Yeah, tagging. Or you do, but it's for a different reason.
But I think we've kind of talked about this a little bit in the past, but it's like, is there anything more lame than graffiti? Like really when it comes down to it, it's just like.
So look. I know you have a history of, writing on walls.
but it's pathetic.
And you're a grown up now and you have a great job and you have a great life. But do you ever just do it and think to yourself, I'm a fucking loser?
All the time. And I think what comes down to as well is being like, there's that element of when you're doing it, and I'm sure this is like with anything that seems
anything that has an adrenaline rush, right?
Yeah, or counterculture or subversive or something like that you're doing it and you feel like a teenager. But then when you take a step back and you're saying to yourself, no, I'm a fat old man who's a loser and should not be doing this anymore. And it's a tough. You're always fighting that element of anything that comes involved with when you did something when you're like growing up, right?
Well, the way I like to think about it is like imagine like it's Monday morning like today. Be like, hey, how was your weekend? Did you do anything? And people are just like, yeah, spent time with the kids, went to the park, went on a bike ride, blah blah. What did you do? It's just like, dude, I tagged the fuck out of the TD Bank at Runnymede and Bloor. Dude, it's at least $80,000 worth of repairs. It got so fucked up. I got up. I'm up.
And then after doing that sort of stuff, then it'd be like, so I just totally vandalized this, private business and, in effect destroyed this building and this community. And then you're going, fuck cops, man. They're always against us, bro. And you're like, dude, you're a criminal, man.
But not if you're not wearing a Bleu Manteau. And with that, I don't even know his name, Stu. Does he have a name? Bleu Manteau.
Bleu Manteau is the only name that we need.
And with that, congratulations, Bleu Manteau, because you brought it. Well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of episode 17. Just want to thank you for all your support. Remember, you want to send us your stories, some themes, some topics. FierceKingz@gmail.com is a place to be. Please follow us on the Instagram, on the Twitter, and of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And with that, Stu, is there anything that you would like to tell the listeners?
Just want to say time and time again, thank you for listening And you are now not listening to the Fierce Kingz podcast.